What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Sports with Jake. Hope we're all doing well. So, obviously, the draft is now over. NFL draft's over, but I'm going to recap the first round today, and then my plan is tomorrow just go through the entire draft. Other picks that I thought, you know, I liked and didn't like, and go over everyone's drafts, who I thought did well, who I didn't think did so well. So, let's jump right in. First overall pick, the Chicago Bears took Caleb Williams, quarterback out of USC. They've obviously made this very apparent for several months, ever since probably even before the combine. All we know how I feel about Caleb Williams. I don't like the kid at all. He's extremely arrogant, comes off as very arrogant and entitled. He's a kid I think grew up, in California, kind of had everything, and then he comes to first Oklahoma, then USC. Gets all this NIL money, which obviously is gonna make an arrogant, entitled rich kid, even more arrogant and entitled. And just to me, I don't expect him to have much accountability. I think he's got a lot of character concerns. I don't think he's very coachable. I don't think he's a leader at all. I think his leadership qualities are quite poor. Obviously, he's got an incredible arm, and he's able to make plays with his legs, but he's not always super accurate. The off-platform throws, which are fun to watch. They're fun to look up on YouTube and watch highlights of. I don't think they're going to work in the NFL. He's not going to be able to do that in the NFL. A lot of things he did in college, I don't think he'll be able to do in the NFL. I don't expect this to work out. I've been saying it for months. This kid is overrated, overhyped. He's not that good. He could be like a Dak Prescott maybe, but I don't expect him to be much more than that. I think he's going to be a bust, honestly. I think he's more likely to be a bust than to hit. I mean, if he hits, he could be, like a Patrick Mahomes kind of guy. He could be that kind of superstar talent. But I don't expect him to even be near that. But Bears think otherwise, so he's another quarterback. But honestly, I'm not a fan of the pick. Second overall pick, Washington Commanders took Jaden Daniels, quarterback out of LSU. I like this pick a lot. I like Daniels. Probably went with May, but they made it pretty apparent ever since the combine that Daniels was their guy. I think he's very good. He's obviously the reigning Heisman winner at LSU. He's got a cannon. He can make a lot of plays with his legs. But my issue with him is, the only knock on him is he did not play in the NFL caliber offense. Definitely didn't play one in Arizona State. LSU was closer, but still not quite an NFL offense. So I think he'll have a little bit more of a learning curve. But Washington's a young team. They're kind of entering rebuild mode. They have a new coach in Dan Quinn, who I don't expect to do very well there. He's not a good head coach. I think he's proven that. But he's getting a second shot as a head coach with Washington. Obviously, second year of new ownership with, what's his name? Josh, whatever his name is, who just took over, and Magic Johnson. You have a new GM in Adam Peters coming over from San Francisco, so it's a kind of a new era for the Washington Commanders. Josh Harris, the new owner's name. So, he's got a very fragile build. He never really had injury concerns in college, but he's just got a very small build. His floor is probably RG3 because of that. But his ceiling is Lamar Jackson with a better arm, which is, of course, a very scary player. I think he's got a chance to be really good. But yeah, overall, I think a very good pick. Washington has not hit on any quarterback really ever. Obviously, you missed on Jason Campbell. You missed on a lot of different guys. But Jaden Daniels, it's the Commanders. The third overall pick, New England Patriots went with Drake May, quarterback out of North Carolina. I think this is a great pick. Kudos to the Patriots for not overthinking this. Doing a pick to get a headline like a J.J. McCarthy or trading down. They're like, all right, we need a quarterback. May's the best quarterback available. In their opinion, is the best fit in their system. They took their guy. I think May's the best quarterback in this class. He's got a very good arm. He's decently accurate. He's pretty smart. He's athletic. I think he's gonna be a very good quarterback. He's got to work on reading a defense. He didn't, he had some trouble doing that at UNC. Didn't get too many chances to do it at UNC. That being said, that I think will come with time. They should have a pretty good run game this year. Van Pelt's a pretty good offensive coordinator. Don't think Cleveland should have let him go in the first place. Now, they have a defense that's going to not allow too many points. So, the weapons could use a little bit of work, but he's a good young quarterback. I think he'll be very good. This is the right pick by the New England Patriots. 4th overall is the Arizona Cardinals. They took Marvin Harrison Jr., wide receiver out of Ohio State. If you have a negative thing to say, I'm going to ignore it, to be honest. Best player in this draft. Superstar talent, generational prospect out of Ohio State at the wide receiver position. Of course, his father is an all-time great and Hall of Fame, Marvin Harrison Sr., of course, with the Indianapolis Colts. And he's following in his father's footsteps. Absolute stud. Incredible route runner. You know, his catch rate is out of this world. Absolute dog. Stud. Kyler Murray has a top receiver. 5th overall, Los Angeles Chargers took offensive tackle Joe Alt out of Notre Dame. For a while, we thought that this pick was from the league neighbors. Heading into the draft about a day or two before, there were rumors that Harbaugh was going to take Joe Alt, and that's what they did. Joe Alt is now a Charger. Look, they're obviously their receiver room was very empty after you traded away Keenan Allen and cut Mike Williams. But this team is going to run the ball a lot. Obviously, you have a phenomenal quarterback in Justin Herbert, but you brought in Gus Edwards, who's between the tackles kind of back. You brought in his former teammate in J.K. Dobbins to reunite those two. Of course, he's coming off another injury. Jim Harbaugh loves to run the ball. He did it. He's done it every stop he's been at any level. He brought in Greg Roman as his offensive coordinator, who loves to run the ball. This is going to be a run-first team. Now you have him and Rashawn Slater at tackle. You have two really good young tackles. I think Joel is going to be a stud. Notre Dame produces a very good offensive lineman. I think this is a very good pick. I can see why you went with Neighbors. I thought this was should have been the pick to an extent, but not really a problem with Joe Alt. 6th overall, New York Giants took Malik Neighbors, receiver out of LSU. I think this is a very good pick. Look, obviously there were a lot of rumors they were taking J.J. McCarthy. Clearly that was a smokescreen. And I don't think this is the draft to take a quarterback from a Giant. This is the thing. Do I think Daniel Jones is good? No. He's a bust. You missed on the pick. That's Dave Gettleman's fault. That's the previous regime's fault. But not Shane's fault, not Dable's fault. But he's not the guy. He's proven that. He's extremely inaccurate. Not smart with the football. Turnover machine. Not good enough. Complete reach. He's not the guy. You're stuck with him for another year. Whether you like it or not. You have to have him on the roster. You might as well start him. So, no reason to take quarterback high to me. Also, that line isn't good. The receiver room is terrible. You're in a division where you have a Philadelphia team that should be at least good. Dallas lost a lot of pieces. They should be at least very good-ish. Washington isn't great, but, is not that much worse or better than you, to be honest. So, at best, you're fighting for 3rd place in the division. Playoffs is going to be hard to come by. They have not had a number 1 caliber wide receiver since, Odell Beckham Jr. was in his prime. It's been a while. They have that. I still would have went offensive line. Oliver Fashanu, Tyvus Fuaga, one of those guys here would have been my pick. They've had offensive line concerns for as long as I can remember. You got a little better sending John Runyon. Andrew Thomas will be healthy. Hopefully the left tackle, but Evan Neal's still there, so still a concern for me. But Malik Neighbors is a phenomenal player, the number 2 receiver in this class. He's one of the best defenses to come out of college in a while. Got good hands. Nothing not to like about him. 7th overall, Tennessee Titans went with J.C. Latham, offensive tackle out of Alabama. You could argue a little bit of a reach, and he was the 3rd best tackle available, I thought, at this spot. I had Oliver Fashanu and Talise Fuaga both ahead of him. But he's still a good player. I think will be a very good offensive tackle for a while in the NFL. Titans have been trying to rebuild their offensive line. They need to go offensive line, and they did. Obviously, you cut 3 starting offensive linemen last year, prior to last year starting, but you're trying to rebuild it. You take Pierre Skoronski in the 1st round. Now you take J.C. Latham in the 1st round the year after. You just brought in Bill Callen to coach the offensive line. O-line start to take shape and come into you start to build one piece at a time. Titans are going into a full-on rebuild. Obviously, the 2nd-year GM, in Ron Carfin, you have a 1st-year coach in Brian Callahan, who of course brought in his dad Bill Callen to coach the offensive line. A very young team. 2nd-year quarterback will be in his first full year as a full-time starter. Young guys all over the roster. Obviously, Derrick Henry isn't there anymore, the star back, but not what I would have went Fuaga or Fashanu, but Latham is still a good pick, I would say. 8th overall for the draft got really interesting. Atlanta Falcons took Michael Penix Jr., quarterback out of Washington. I do not understand this pick. I've tried taking every avenue, looking at this from every angle. I don't understand the draft pick. I just don't. So, you're Atlanta. You're the best team in your division, because the division is so bad. But you're not going to win a Super Bowl yet. I mean, so you have a chance to add a guy that can help you out, like a Dallas Turner coming off the edge. Maybe a Cooper DeJean or a Quinion Metro, a corner. Maybe a Roma Medusa to help your receiving core. Whatever. Maybe a little for Sean or Trace Flug to boost the line. You just pay a 36-year-old quarterback in Kirk Cousins $180 million coming up with torn Achilles. And you decided to take a soon-to-be 24-year-old quarterback who's got injury concerns. And apparently you're planning to sit him for 4 years? I cannot wrap my head around this. It makes zero sense. And I like Penix. I'm actually higher on him than most. He was my quarterback number 3 in this class. He's got a beautiful arm. Can fit into tight windows. You know, he's an incredible story. One of the most likable guys in this draft. I am rooting for him. I will always root for him no matter how his career goes. But back to reality, this pick doesn't make any sense. So if you're going to sit him for 4 years, so you're going to sit him until he's 28 years old. And, you know, you're basically, you're going to accept his 5th-year option without even having seen him play maybe even a snap. And he'll have 1 year to impress you. If he does, okay, you probably franchise tag him or you give him a longer-term deal. If not, you let your rookie quarterback, your young quarterback after 1 year. I cannot wrap my head around this. If I had to guess, we'll probably see him in about 2 years. But even if he sits for 2 years, he'll be 26 years old by the time he first sees the field. Like, this doesn't make any sense. This was really, to me, honestly, it was stupid. Again, I don't hate the player by any means. Love the person, and I really like the player. I think he's got to have a good offensive line around him and some weapons around him. But if he does, I think he's a really good quarterback. To me, similar play style as Tua, but I think he's a much better quarterback than Tua. So I think he has a chance in the best case scenario to be really good. But at this spot, just mind-boggling to me. I don't get it. 9th overall, Bears are up again. Take Rome Dunze, receiver out of Washington. Love this pick. He's really good. My 3rd best receiver in this class. He's a very good receiver. I think a legit one. The Bears have an insane amount of weapons now. If Caleb can't, do well with these weapons, I don't know what to say for him. I might have excuses for him. He's phenomenal. Caleb wanted him. He got him. He's a stud. Nothing to say about this one. 10th overall, Vikings move up a spot with the Jets. Take J.J. McCarthy, quarterback out of Michigan. Look, I'm not super high on McCarthy. He's my quarterback 4 in this class. I don't think he's anything special. I think he's like a prime Andy Dalton, maybe a Kirk Cousins. So I think he's a solid starter. Could be like I don't think he'll ever be better than like the 8th best quarterback in the game. But I don't think he's bad by any means. He's very accurate, very careful with the ball, smart. Obviously coming off a national championship. I think with NFL coaching, we'll be able to unlock him. Obviously, he had Jim Harbaugh, who's obviously an NFL coach at Michigan, but of course they ran the ball a lot, and over their offense only had to score about 17 points, and they couldn't lose with how good the defense was. So I think it'll be a learning curve for him, but I do think he'll be a decent quarterback. Should you be taking Andy Dalton or Kirk Cousins at 10? Maybe not, but Vikings need the quarterback badly. You have so many weapons on offense. You got to tie it all together with a good quarterback. Obviously, Kirk isn't there anymore. You run Sam Darnold, but that's not going to cut it. Get yourself J.J. McCarthy. Don't expect him to be very good this year because that defense is just so bad. J.J. McCarthy's going to make mistakes as he goes, but they're a team that maybe could win a game or two that maybe they shouldn't. On paper, you think, all right, maybe they're only a 4 or 5 win team. I lean more towards 6 or 7 wins. So, but overall, this is a good pick. you could argue maybe they shouldn't have traded up for the pick. Was it worth giving the 4th and the 5th round to the Jets, who were not going to go quarterback, obviously, and not in the 1st round? That being said, I wonder if they were about maybe Denver or the Raiders jumping the Jets and stealing their pick. Maybe they're worried about that. There was rumors that Denver really wanted them. Could they move up? The Jets have been saying they're willing to trade down over the last couple of weeks. Maybe they're like, all right, I'm not sure. Obviously you don't know for sure, but for a 4th, if this is the guy that thinks their franchise quarterback, it's worth a 4th and a 5th round pick. So overall, I think it's a good pick. I think it's a good fit. Solid pick for the Vikings. Lumbo overall just moved down a spot and take Oli Fashanu off the tackle out of Penn State. Absolutely love his pick for the Jets. I was very happy as a Jets fan. He's my number 2 tackle in this class. Fills a major need. He's phenomenal. Will be the left tackle for a long time. With Tyron Smith already there, maybe you put him on right tackle for now, and if Smith gets hurt, which is possible because he's very injury prone, you move him over to the left side. And by next year, he'll be the left tackle. Maybe you play him at left tackle and you move Smith, or maybe you have Smith be a swing guy. Maybe you bench Fashanu for now. You did trade for Morgan Moses, who had a good year as the right tackle in Baltimore last year. So a lot of options. Is a great pick for the Jets. So I was very, very happy about it. 12th overall, took Denver Broncos, took Bo Nix. Look, I think Bo Nix is like a Jared Goff kind of quarterback. Not elite. Could be solid quarterback, but not elite. I don't think the talent is worth a 1st rounder. That being said, I think he's the best quarterback on that roster, and he has been on the Broncos for about, 4 days? So, there's that. Denver's a dumpster fire. The offensive line isn't good. Their weapons aren't very good. The defense sucks. Look, they screwed themselves with the Russell Wilson trade. They are a mess. Look, Sean Payton has the patience to develop a quarterback, but, no, excuse me, I did it backwards. He's got the ability to. He doesn't have the patience to develop a young quarterback. So, I don't love the fit from that perspective. That being said, the quarterback we've seen, best run Sean Payton system is, of course, Drew Brees. And the Bo Nix playstyle is similar to Drew Brees. Does he have a talent of Drew Brees? Absolutely not. But his playstyle is similar. I think his ceiling is like a Jared Goff. It's like a top 8 to 12 quarterback in the league. But I think it's possible if Denver is able to build a team around him, they could get him to his ceiling. So, solid pick. I wouldn't have minded if they went with like Brock Bowers or another really good player, and then just start Jared Stidham or Zach Wilson to stay out the year, to be honest. But I don't think it's a horrible pick. 13th overall, Las Vegas Raiders took tight end Brock Bowers out of Georgia. Look, Bowers is an incredible player. This is incredible value. He's probably a top 5 player in this class. He got him at 13. That being said, you took a tight end in the beginning of the 2nd round last year, Michael Mayer. Going back-to-back at tight end is kind of weird. The 2 tight end set has never worked, really, ever in the NFL. Teams have tried it. It doesn't work. That being said, now whoever the quarterback is, whether it's Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew, now has a plethora of weapons at their disposal. Again, it's incredible value. I think they wanted a quarterback. I heard they really wanted Michael Penix. But I think once he got taken by the Falcons, they either tried to call the Jets and trade up a few spots, but Vikings beat them to the punch, and then just obviously aren't going to trade down again in case Denver steals their pick at 12, and I'll play Denver one of the quarterbacks that you won't be able to swap with them. Like, all right, let's take the best player available. But this is very good value, if nothing else. 14th overall, New Orleans Saints took Tyrese Fuaga, offensive tackle out of Oregon State. This is a very good pick. I like Fuaga a lot. He's a big, strong kid. Versatile, can also play guard. The Saints need all the help they can get at almost any position they are. They're the most mediocre sports team I've ever seen, to be honest. Dennis Allen's a horrendous coach. Not sure why he still has a job. That being said, the left tackle spot was open. Trevor Penning did not work out from our 1st round pick. You have Ryan Ramczyk there, obviously, but he's getting older. Fuaga, fills a major need. He's a very good player. It's a good pick. 15th overall, Indianapolis Colts took Latu, edge rusher at UCLA. Probably the 14 straight offensive player is the longest streak at any point of the draft ever in history. Latu, crazy story. 3 years ago, goes to UCLA. as a freshman, then suffers a neck injury. The doctors told him, you need to retire. They was forced to medically retire 2 years, didn't play, was able to get medical clear to come back 2 years ago, and has had 2 straight excellent years for the Bruins. You know, kudos to him. Another phenomenal story. Another guy I'll be rooting for no matter how his career pans out. He's extremely athletic, explosive, very fast. I think he'll be a very good player. 16th overall. Seattle Seahawks took Byron Murphy, defensive tackle out of Texas. I thought they were going to go edge rusher opposed to interior, so I thought maybe Jared Verse or Dallas Turner. But Byron Murphy is a phenomenal player, guy who was sharp draft boards in recent weeks. Absolute stud. Best D tackle in this class. This isn't a great D tackle class, but he's definitely the best one. He's very good. You know, you have Leonard Williams there. Now you put Byron Murphy next to him. Seattle's defense has always had success from having a powerful pass rush. You've seen, you know, Mike McDonald's new head coach coming from the Ravens. They develop defensive players, you know, like they're pulling rabbits out of a hat like a magician. I think Mike McDonald will get the most out of this kid. I think he's very good. I think this is a good pick. 17th overall. Dallas Turner, edge rusher out of Alabama. Yeah, this was a very, very good pick. Of course, they move up 6 spots, but I think that was the right move. They got their quarterback at 10. Now they're all right. Now they have to adjust for defense with their next pick. I cannot imagine he was getting to 23. So they called up Jacksonville. So let's make a deal, and they made it, and they get a very good edge rusher in Dallas Turner, who is not super explosive as like a Liatu or a Jared Verse, but he's really, really solid. You know, very, very polished. You know, coming in of Alabama, obviously. I think he'll be very good at the next level. Very good pick for the Vikings. 18th overall, Cincinnati Bengals. Amarius Mims, offensive tackle out of Georgia. I think he'll be a solid tackle. Bengals need to go off the line. Burrow's never had an alignment since he got to the Bengals. Obviously, he's had some injuries since he's gotten there. Towards the end of his first year, broken wrist this past year. You got to keep him upright. He would have a Super Bowl right now if he had an offensive line, you know, a couple of years ago. And now you have him and Orlando Brown. You know, this would fill the need, and it's a very good pick. 19th overall, Los Angeles Rams will have Jared Verse, edge rusher out of Florida State. This is a really good pick. Look, the Rams have a lot of pieces on offense. The need to go defense. Aaron Donald retirement is a humongous loss, and Verse will at least help, you know, fill that role. He's extremely explosive, incredible athlete. I think he's going to be really good. I think an underrated prospect. I had a feeling he was going to slide in this draft a little bit than probably what his talent shows on the tape because he's very undersized. But there's always a couple of guys, you know, in the, you know, every year, you know, from that edge position who are, you know, have all the talent in the world or are really explosive, will, you know, look great on tape, but just they're so small, people get worried and they slide. Usually ends up working out. I think this, in his case, it will end up working out. He's very good. He's extremely explosive. He is athletic as it gets. I think it's a good fit. I like this pick a lot. 20th overall. Pittsburgh Steelers going to Troy Fautanu, tackle out of Washington. This is a good pick. They need to go off the line. You know, Russell Wilson's their starter. He needs a lot of time to throw. You know, they're also going to run the ball a lot with Najee Harris and Jalen Warren. The Steelers, great team. All those great teams always had great running games. You know, they just put all respect for their offensive coordinator, who runs a little more run-heavy offense than whatever the hell Matt Canada's offense was. I think this is a good pick. He also can play guard. He's versatile. I think he's very solid. You know, he'll probably slide in the right tackle. You took Broderick Jones last year. He definitely belongs on the left side. You lost Okorafor. You also play him at right guard as well, across from Samwalo. This is a very good pick by the Pittsburgh Steelers. 21st overall, Miami Dolphins took Chop Robinson and Edward out of Penn State. Yeah, I don't hate the player, but this is a reach. I think Chop Robinson, to me, I thought he was maybe a very end of the first round, early second round guy. 21's a little bit rich for him. He's another guy. He's undersized, but I do like him. He's a good athlete. He's very explosive. I think will be a pretty good player. But I think a little bit of a reach for Miami Dolphins. I would have went corner. There was a lot of talent on that side of the ball. Need to go defense. I would probably went corner. Not a horrible pick, but just a little. Don't love the value, to be honest. 22nd overall. Philadelphia Eagles took Quinyon Mitchell, a corner out of Toledo. I had trouble, you know, telling him and Terry Arnold apart when it comes to who's the best corner in this draft. I was flipping the coin. To me, it was 1A, 1B. I had Arnold by a hair, But he's a really good corner. This is a great pick by the Philadelphia Eagles. Corner was a major need. You have a couple of vets there in Darius Slay and James Bradbury. He'll be able to learn from them. You know, this is a really good pick by the Philadelphia Eagles. And the fact that they were talking about trading up, they didn't have to trade up to get him, makes this even better. 23rd overall, Jacksonville, of course, moved back with Minnesota, and they take Brian Thomas, receiver out of LSU. I thought they might go corner because they lost a lot of pieces in the offseason. Also, the secondary was a major problem for them during the season. That being said, they also lost their top receiver in Calvin Ridley in free agency. Don't really have a 1. Christian Kirk is very good, but I think he's just a high-end 2. Don't think he's a 1. Brian Thomas is very good. Kind of went under the radar because he played the same team as Malik Neighbors, but he's very good. I think will be a 1 in this league. Obviously, we never actually seen him act as a 1. He never had the opportunity to do it, but now we have the opportunity to do it. That was hilarious. They asked his mother, how far does the family come? He goes, we came from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. She didn't forget the context there. That was very funny. And they asked the parents, like, oh, do you want to let out Duval? They go, what's that? It's like, yeah, they got a little learning to do, but great pick. I thought, this is very fair value. He's a very good player. Fills the need for the Jaguars. Detroit Lions, 24 overall, move up 5 spots to Dallas and take corner Terrion Arnold out of Alabama. This is a great move by the Detroit Lions. Secondary has been a major problem for them the last couple of years. They move up and get what I think is the best corner in this draft out of Alabama. He's really, really good. I think an absolute stud. They did move up to get him, but I don't think he was getting to 29. Fills a major need. Love his pick for the Lions. 25th overall, Green Bay Packers took off the tackle Jordan Morgan of Arizona. I don't hate the player, but this to me was a reach. He was a guy, maybe very end of the first round, most likely early second round. I think a bit of a reach for me. Off the line need to be the play for Green Bay. I thought that was the pick. Their O-line has struggled the last couple of years with all the injuries they've had. Obviously, you cut Dave back to Diarty, so he can be his replacement, but I would have probably went on the interior. You can always kick Jenkins out to tackle if you want to. So I would have probably went Graham Barnes or Jackson Powers-Johnson here. But Morgan's not a horrible pick. But a little bit of a reach, not great value, but not horrible. 26th overall, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Graham Barnes, a guard center out of Duke. He played both at Duke. This guy's very good. To me, he was the best, probably true guard in this class. I think he's a guard. Either way, he'll either be Ryan Jensen's heir apparent or he'll slide to guard, which is a major need for the Bucs. Need to go in interior off the line, and they did. Great pick. 27th overall, Arizona Cardinals went with Darius Robinson, edge rusher out of Missouri. This wasn't my favorite pick. I don't hate Darius Robinson. I think he's pretty good, but a little bit of a reach. I had him be as an early to mid second rounder. Not great value, but he's not a bad player. 28th overall pick was the Kansas City Chiefs. Xavier Worthy, wide receiver out of Texas. Look, obviously they move up with the Buffalo Bills 4 spots. I'm not high on Xavier Worthy. He obviously has game-changing speed, hit the 40-yard dash record. He doesn't have great hands. That's definitely a problem. He wasn't even I didn't even have the highest rated receiver coming out of Texas this year. I had A.D. Mitchell ahead of him, honestly. That being said, he's a perfect fit for the Chiefs. They love those fast slot guys. Tyreek Hill, Hollywood Brown, even Kadarius Toney is a similar mold, although he's not that good of a player. Same thing with Marcus Valdez-Scantling. I know he's not a great player, but that same mold. They love those kind of guys. This is their kind of wide receiver. He's got Patrick Mahomes, an all-time great thrown to him. Not a lot of pressure. He'll probably have to be their second best receiver with Rashee Rice suspended. But I like the fit. And, it's another fast receiver for the Chiefs. Why did the Bills decide to help out the Chiefs? Give him receiver help? I have no clue. But Chiefs, I think it's a pretty good pick. 29th overall, Dallas Cowboys took Tyler Guyton off the tackle out of Oklahoma. I think this was a pretty good pick. Jerry Jones either takes him off the lineman or does something so weird that just makes no sense. But, yeah, I think this is fair value. I had him in late first round, early second round. It was a fine pick. They lost Tyron Smith in the offseason. He'll be his heir apparent. I think it's a solid pick. 30th overall, Baltimore Ravens took Nate Wiggins, corner out of Clemson. I didn't love this pick, honestly. Look, the Ravens draft as well as maybe any team in the league. They are very good at this drafting thing. They very rarely miss. I like Wiggins. He's very fast. I think he'll be a pretty good corner. It's a little lower than other people, but still think he'll be very good. This is a very deep corner class. He's extremely fast. I thought you should have gone wide receiver. I didn't know they eventually did, but I went wide receiver. It's been a major need for a while now for the Ravens. But lost a lot of pieces in the offseason, you know, especially on defense. Could use another corner, and also Marlon Humphrey's getting older, is always hurt. So not where I would have gone, but not a bad pick. 31st overall, the 49ers, they went with Ricky Pearsall, receiver out of Florida. This one was kind of confusing. This to me was a reach. I had a second round grade on him. A bit of a reach. Not a horrible player. If they do end up playing Ayuk or Deebo Samuel, this will make a little more sense. Because now Deebo or Ayuk will be your 1, and Pearsall will be your 2. I think he could be a solid 2 or 3 in this league, but until then, I would have went to the secondary. There were guys there you could have taken. Cooper John would have been phenomenal in that system. But for now, obviously, doesn't make a ton of sense, but we'll see what happens with Ayuk and Deebo, who didn't get traded at the draft, but I heard, obviously, Ayuk discussions going on for a while, and I've heard, although they haven't gotten close to anything with Deebo, the plan, I heard they're all still looking to trade him. And 32nd, the Panthers moved up a spot with the Bills. The Bills trade back again. Panthers move up 1 spot to get into the first round and take wide receiver Xavier Legette out of South Carolina. I like this move a lot for Carolina. You only move up 1 spot. You know, Bills are going receiver. You knew that. You think, all right, maybe they might take the guy that we want. They're to move up a spot and still get the guy that you want. He's very good coming out of South Carolina. They know all the help they can get for Bryce Young. You know, the receiver room is left to be desired behind Adam Thielen, who's getting older anyway. Jonathan Mingo obviously isn't proven. Everyone else there's nothing really to show for it. I think this is a very good pick. He's at worst the second receiver on the roster. He's got good speed. I like this kid a lot. All right, that's the first round of the NFL draft. Until next time, so long, and have a great day.